For a long time, I thought luxury was about special occasions. For example, I might buy a Chanel bag, but I will only allow myself to use the bag when I went to a nice restaurant or a wedding. But over time, my relationship with luxury items has changed. Nowadays, I try to make good use of my luxury pieces in my everyday life. The truth is, if you're going to spend a lot of money on something, you might as well make your money's worth. So in this video, I want to share with you the luxury items that can easily elevate your everyday life. The first luxury item that will absolutely elevate your everyday life is a practical and versatile everyday bag. When I buy a luxury bag, the first thing I look for is, will this fit all my daily essentials? I mean, let's be honest, if a bag cannot carry what you need it to carry, it's technically not a bag, but an accessory. Personally, I always carry my phone, Kindle e-reader, a small card holder, and some personal care items like my hand cream and sunscreen powder. So when it comes to practicality, I need my bag to fit all these essentials and I don't compromise on it. At the moment, the smallest bag in my luxury bag collection is the Hermes Eileen TPM. This is a tiny bag, but as you can see, it can fit everything I need very nicely. Another thing to look for in a perfect everyday bag is versatility. Now, if you're planning to wear the same bag from day to day, it has to complement your everyday outfits very effortlessly. This is why I tend to prefer neutral colors because they go with everything so easily. When it comes to my handbags, I love going for black color because you simply cannot go wrong with this color. For example, my Hermes BIRKIN 25 is in black and gold, and for me, this bag is the prime example of versatility. What I mean is, I can wear the bag with very casual outfits, but it also looks perfect for the more dressy events. Something else to look for in an everyday bag is durability. I personally try to stay away from the very delicate materials when it comes to my handbags. In my day-to-day life, I use my Chanel mini flap and my Louis Vuitton mini Palm Springs backpack quite often because both pieces are made of fairly durable materials in the sense that they don't scratch easily and they are water resistant. Essentially, if you want your bag to elevate your everyday life, you need to go for something that will serve your needs, something that always looks amazing and is worry-free to use. Another luxury items that will instantly elevate your everyday outfits are wearable and versatile everyday jewelry pieces. Personally, I always have on some jewelry pieces because they really do make the best accessories. For example, I wear my Cartier love ring on top of my wedding band every single day. Additionally, I always wear a very simple but shiny necklace, and the one I've been wearing in the last few months is this beautiful Charlie choker from Idol. All these pieces are simple, classic, and so very comfortable to wear. In fact, I sometimes even forget I have them on, but they always manage to add a touch of magic to even the simplest outfits. And for me, earrings are my way of making a statement, and so I very much enjoy rotating my pieces depending on how I feel. This is why I love the diamond earrings from Idol. Their selection is so unique, but always classy and perfect for everyday wear. These Venetians, for example, are so simple and delicate, but yet they are so eye-catching in a subtle way. I feel like with Idol pieces, you can really express yourself because there are just so many ways to wear them. Now, I love all my Idol earrings, but the ones I've been reaching for the most are the Kayas and the Jewels. By the way, all Idol pieces are made from only the top 1% of lab-grown diamonds, and their craftsmanship is truly amazing. But you know what? As well made as their pieces are, their prices are actually very reasonable. So if you want to invest in some timeless jewelry pieces that you can wear every day for many years, make sure to check out Idol. Now let's say you only want a small collection and you're not into layering your jewelry pieces. then I think a watch can be the perfect way to accessorize your everyday outfits. There's something inherently put together about wearing a watch. In fact, even the simplest outfits will look more polished when you have a watch on the wrist. And I think if you go for the right designs, the watch alone can easily anchor your entire look. I personally prefer very simple designs because that way my watch will never go out of style. The Rolex Datejust 31, for example, looks so clean, sleek, and classic, making it a wonderful choice as an everyday piece. Another timepiece that I think would be lovely as an everyday jewelry is the Cartier Panthère, which I have been eyeing on for a while, and I especially love the one in yellow gold. Comfortable shoes can elevate your everyday life. Now, I used to buy shoes that looked beautiful, but they were so uncomfortable to walk in. After a while, I realized the pain is simply not worth it. The reality is, when you're in pain, it affects how you carry yourself and therefore how your day goes. This is why when it comes to footwear, I now prioritize comfort over everything. This means I don't wear high heels anymore, and I tend to go for shoes that I can walk in for hours. In the winter, I alternate between my Uggs and my Acne Studio boots. In the warmer months, I tend to go for my Vans, Roger Vivier's, and Anina Bing sandals. I truly believe that you shouldn't compromise on your shoes if you want them to carry you far. So if something doesn't feel comfy, move on, because there's so many other choices out there and you will find something. Moving on, if you're talking about how to elevate our everyday life, how can we not mention sunglasses, right? The way I see it, it doesn't really matter what you wear, but the minute you put on a pair of sunglasses, you will instantly look so much more chic and stylish. I've spoken about this many times before, but I love my Gentle Monster sunglasses. These are huge and they go with every outfit I wear, so I don't even need to spend any time to style them. Number 6. If you live in a cold climate, a good quality coat can really elevate your everyday life. I bought this Woolrich Parker jacket about 9 years ago, and this is one of the most impactful luxury purchases that I've made. Just for some context, I live in the UK and it can get really cold here, and this jacket has done an amazing job at keeping me warm. Since owning this jacket, I've stopped buying multiple trendy outerwear pieces, and because of that, I never have to deal with decision fatigue. So this purchase has been worth every single penny, and I'm so thankful to have bought it when I did. Now, I don't think you need to go for designer brands for every category in your wardrobe. In fact, I personally would never pay a fortune for a designer t-shirt. But when it comes to outerwear pieces, paying a bit more for good quality is definitely the right thing to do. I'll also encourage you to pay more attention to things like the color, design, and silhouette, and try not to compromise on these aspects. As many of you know, in the winter, your outerwear is the main element in your outfit. So I think it's really important that you go for something that you will enjoy wearing for a long time, even if it means paying a little bit more for it. Moving on, I also want to talk about how our basic everyday pieces can easily elevate our everyday life. And I'm talking about those building block pieces like your jumpers, jeans, and t-shirts that you reach for every single day. Personally, I don't strictly go for designer brands for my everyday pieces, but I'm very happy to invest in good materials and quality. For example, I love wearing cashmere in the winter because it's so soft and cozy. Whereas in the summer, I tend to go for linen and cotton because these materials are so comfortable and breathable. As many of you know, I repeat my outfits very often, and a lot of my everyday pieces have been with me for over 5 years. But even then, every time I go to my wardrobe and try to put together an outfit, I still feel really grateful to have these pieces, and I never feel like I have nothing to wear. And for me, that is a luxury in itself. And so I cannot stress how important it is to have a good selection of everyday pieces, because when you do, everything else will fall into place very quickly. And those are the luxury items that can easily elevate your everyday life. Now, I used to see owning luxury items as a means for self-validation, whereas now I have a much healthier and much more practical relationship with luxury shopping. In my opinion, you don't need a massive collection of luxury items. The key is to select pieces which are well-made, beautiful, classic, and durable, just so these pieces can support your everyday life rather than just sitting on the shelf. In my case, owning certain luxury pieces has added a lot of versatility to my wardrobe. And very interestingly as well, it has actually reduced my shopping in the long run. For example, I don't buy any shoes now, and I also haven't been actively looking for any elements to add to my wardrobe. And I think that's only possible because I've already done the heavy lifting, and that's why my wardrobe is now serving me really well. And that is it from me today. Thank you so much for being here. Take care, and I will see you soon.